Welcome to a new class of PowerPoint. In this class, I'm going to cover up everything that you need to know about tables, customizing them, using all the tools which PowerPoint has to offer to customize your tables or even insert them. And then we're going to move on to images, how you'll be able to work with images. And in my previous classes, I've shown you from where you can download your royalty-free images so that you don't fall into any trouble later on. And we're also going to be using the same site to download a couple of those images. So without any further ado, let's move on to our class. Just make sure not to skip anything because if you do, you might miss out on something very important. So without any further ado, let's move on to our class by opening up PowerPoint on our device. As you can see from my screen, I have opened up PowerPoint. Now I'm going to click to add in my first slide, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this title box. Okay, I'm going to only keep this subtitle box because I can insert whatever I want, insert here. Okay, so I'm going to go off to the insert menu of our tab or our ribbons, and here we will find out tables and images. So these are the things what we're going to uncover in this class, and what are the tools you're going to get, or what functionality are you going to get just by using these tools. First thing, what I want to do is you can see on the left side we have slides, which is basically the same as the home slides over here, but it's just a bit more congested with less options to see on the screen. But everything is basically just the same as the one you see on the home panel. So let's move on to the tables. Now, first thing that you need to know about tables is how you can create cells inside of your workspace. So you can click on tables and you will basically see on the bottom of your cursor, there is like a couple of boxes. Well, these boxes or these empty boxes are representing the rows and columns. So if you just take your cursor to one of them, you can see one of these cells has been created. You can see you'll be able to create more just by going on to the right side. And if you just go down, it's going to create more. So according to your need, maybe I want like a 5:5 table, 5 columns and 5 rows. So I can take it to the left. And there we go. You can see it has been turned into 5:5. Another advantage that you will see over here is on the table option, we also see the number, which is actually representing our rows and columns here. Okay, so you can see we have 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, and then so on. Okay, it's up to 8:8 or 10:8, but if you want to create more, you will be able to create more. Another thing that you will notice is that we are only getting a preview because if we do not select any, it will not apply any of these cells or these tables inside of my workspace. So just in case, I'm going to need a 5:5 table, and I'm going to click on that, and there we go. We have our table totally ready. Another thing that you will see over here is when you create the table, it will create the table design. Now, just like I've said in this class, I'm going to uncover everything that you need to know about tables, customizing them, and also knowing how to use those tools. So we're going to go through them step by step. But first off, let's go off to insert again. So this is one way of applying one of your tables inside of your workspace. Another way of creating a table inside of your workspace is clicking on Insert Table. Click on that and you will basically see a dialog box will appear up on your screen, and it will ask for your criteria number of columns and rows. So let's say I want 7 columns and I want 3 rows. So if I press on OK, there we go, 7 columns and 3 rows has been created. And obviously you'll be able to delete it anytime you want. You can also like keep it just like this, but obviously I don't need it, so I'm going to remove it for this instance. So now we know 2 different methods of applying tables onto my workspace. Another method is going to be drawing a table. If you want to draw yourself your own type of cells, you can do that. Maybe I want to start off a cell from here to here. I'll be able to create that cell. Maybe I want a cell. I'm going to go off to insert, click on tables, draw a table and I want to sell over here, something like this. And there we go. We have created ourselves that cell, and you'll be able to continue doing it over and over again. And obviously you'll be able to duplicate them if you want to. So the easiest method of duplicating is basically going pressing Control. So you can also try that on. And throughout this whole course, I'm going to give you out suggestions and also tips and tricks and also a couple of shortcut keys, which will obviously make your work a lot more easier by saving a lot of time. Okay, so Control D is for, let's say, duplicating whatever elements you have applied, or you can also select up any item and press on Control D. It will also duplicate it. And if you want to undo the process, just press on Control Z. And if you want to redo it again, just press on Control and Y. So I'm not going to be needing any of these, so I'm going to remove them. There we go. I'm just going to keep, or let's say I'm going to remove this one too. So now we know three different methods of applying tables onto my workspace. Now, the last option, which you see over here, is basically called the Excel spreadsheet. So if you have no idea or simple ideas about Excel spreadsheet, well, this is basically just the same as an Excel spreadsheet. It's going to create a spreadsheet program and it's going to run inside of PowerPoint for you so that you can add up your data anytime you want. And you will also be able to use the functionality and the functions of Microsoft Excel inside of PowerPoint, but it's going to be cooperating with Microsoft Excel. So click on Excel spreadsheet and you will basically see that the interface of your PowerPoint might turn into a bit of Microsoft Excel. You can see every interface of Microsoft Excel, including the spreadsheet for you. You can also increase the size to increase more of these cells. You can apply more sheets. You can do some functions over here. You'll be able to apply a couple of, let's say, couple of functions and functionality, whatever you do in Microsoft Excel. This basically helps a couple of people to actually present their data inside of their presentation without having to go to another app or another software and then work along with it. Okay, so if I put my data over here, so just as an example, I'm going to put in a couple of numerical data, 3, 4, 6, 9. And what if I want to sum them up equal, sum, and I'm going to open up the parentheses, select all of them, close off the parentheses, hit on enter, and there we go. We have the summation of this whole array of data. Okay, so if you want to basically like remove it, just press anywhere inside the presentation and you will also be able to get back into, let's say, the PowerPoint workspace and also inside of PowerPoint interface too. Okay, so this is basically how you're going to add tables. Now let's move on to how you are going to customize your table according to your need. So whenever you click on this table of yours, you will basically see on the right side of the ribbon or the right corner of your ribbon, we have two more ribbons called Table Design and Layout. So let's go off the Table Design first and uncover everything or every tools we have over here. So the first option which we see over here are called the table style options, and these are very simple and very, let's say, casual. So you can see we have header row. You can also turn them off and on. You can see this is kind of like a toggle button. You can also apply first column if you want to, last column if you want to. You can also banded columns. You can also apply that, banded rows. And we also have total rows if you want to. So all of these, you'll be able to customize it very simply. And you just have to basically toggle them from time to time, whichever one you prefer. So on the right side, we have is this table styles. Well, you can see that inside of home or insert, let's say home, okay? So we have a couple of quick styles of our text. So basically it is the same as the styles of your table. So you can use these buttons to actually navigate it. And if you want to extend up the whole interface, just click on this over here and you will find out all of these tables or let's say the styles, which you'll be able to apply. And obviously you can try applying them if you want to. You can see we have margins and all, and you can also clear the table if you want to. You can clear the table and even you can apply any one of these colors if you want to. So just in case, I'm going to be using this one. And there we go. This is looking quite good and very simplistic. So you'll be able to, use whichever one you prefer. So now let's move on to our next tools. So the next tool which you're going to find out is going to be about shading or the fill color. So you can apply shading if you want to. You can see the cell color has now been changed. If I click over here and if I click on this button over here, it's also going to change the color. Now, what if you want to apply a whole different color? You can do that too. Just select on over here, click on the shading option, and you can see high contrast. You'll be able to turn them on. You'll be able to apply those high contrast in these cells. You can also turn them off if you want to, whenever you want to, basically. So if I click on this over here and if I apply any one of these, it will be applied, but it's going to be on low contrast. So you don't have to worry about it. So select any of the colors which you want. You can also apply standard colors. You can apply no fill, more colors. You can just go off, see the same RGB panel, or even use the hex codes. You can fix in the transparency if you want to. You have this slider over here, which is basically going to help you to use which type of transparency you want. You can press on OK after you're done, and it's going to be applied over here. You have eyedropper, the same one, pictures, gradients, texture, and even the table background if you want to check. Okay. You can also apply in pictures as your background to your table. Just click on pictures. It is going to show you up the same type of interface. And from here, you'll be able to use from wherever you want. Okay. And now the next one, which we have over here, are basically the borders. You can apply borders if you want to. Just click on borders over here and it's going to be applied. And you can see now I cannot see any borders over here because I have removed the borders, or you can see we're using no borders. If you want to use borders, just click on all borders over here and all the borders will be applied. You can also check on the other ones. Maybe I want top border, and you can see there we go. We have the top border. We can also apply left border. You can also remove them whenever you want to. And obviously you'll be able to use whichever one you prefer. Okay. So this is basically how you're going to apply borders to your cells inside of, let's say, your spreadsheet or your, let's say, tables. Now, the next option which we have over here are the effects. You can also apply effects to your tables or cells. Click on this over here. There we go. We have cell, bevel. You can see no bevel. You can also apply in shadows if you want to. You can see this is how it looks like. You can also apply in reflection of your table. And obviously you'll be able to apply more options. You can see we have reflection option, which is going to basically allow you to fix it up according to the transparency, the size, the blur, the distance, and everything. Okay, so I can fix in the blur. I'm going to increase it up, and I'm also going to increase the distance. I'm going to fix the size. There we go. We have the transparency. There we go. So you'll be able to apply glow too. You'll be able to apply soft edges, 3D format, and even 3D rotations at the same time. Now, the next option which appears over here is called the quick styles of your text. So you'll be able to apply any text style directly inside of your cell. So maybe I'm going to put in a text over here. And if I click on quick styles, it's going to change the text. So if I just select this, quick styles, and there we go, I'll be able to change it automatically and very fast. So if I click on this, there we go, it has been applied. I'll also be able to apply different ones, and you can also clear the word art anytime you want to. The next option which we see over here is basically, let's say, the color. You can see we have different colors. You'll be able to apply these colors, pictures, gradients, or even textures if you want to. Then we also have, the strokes. You can see there are a couple of strokes which you'll be able to apply. Let's say maybe I want this. There we go. The stroke has now been changed. You will also be able to apply weights. Maybe I want a thicker weight. And you'll also be able to fix in dashes if you want to. So there we go. We have a couple of dashes right now. This is how it should look like. And I'll also be able to fix up the size anytime I want to. So just in case, I'm going to be changing the color into white so that I can see it. And I'm also going to be changing this to a bit thicker. And you'll also be able to apply these lines anytime you want to. You'll be able to create a border. So there we go. This is how you're going to create a border. You can also create a page or create a cell anytime you want to, just by using these options. The last option which you see over here at the quick styles is basically word art effects. So if you have applied any word art over here, you'll be able to apply reflection, apply glow, then bevel, 3D rotation. Those are basically unable to use, but you'll be able to use shadow, reflection, and also glow at the same time. Okay. Now, the next option which we have over here is basically called the draw borders, which is also very simple and also very convenient at times. So just in case you want to apply any borders, just turn this color or turn this on. You just have to click on this over here. And then you will basically see that your cursor will turn into this pen. And you're going to select up the border, which type of border you want. And then you will also be able to pick the size, whichever one you want. It's up to 6 pt. Maybe I want 3 up out of 4. And obviously you'll be able to use whichever color you want, and you can apply more colors if you want to, and then you just draw it. Okay, so if I click on over here and I can apply another border, hold on a shift to get the exact straight line, and there we go. We will be able to create cells, and you will also be able to create borders if you want to. There we go, border over here. There we go, more borders, and you will also be able to create cells just by using add borders. Okay, now the next option which we have over here is basically the same on draw table. You can draw a table just like this, and you can also erase it anytime you want to. You will basically see that your cursor will turn into this eraser, then drag it over the cell or over the line, and obviously it will just remove out that side. There we go, removed. Just remove out this part. There we go. It has been removed. Okay. You'll also be able to remove the whole thing at once just by clicking on it and delete. It's obviously the cell is going to be there, but it will not obviously work. So make sure to keep that thing in mind and remove it according to your need. So basically we are done with these table section. The next things what we're going to need to know is about the layout. So there's a lot of these things which we need to know about the layout. So I'm going to cover everything of this into my next class. So let's move on into knowing about the images or the images tools of PowerPoint presentation. First off, what we need to do is I'm going to go off to my browser. There we go. And I'm going to go off to pixels.com. Okay, so go off to pixels.com. You can also use Unsplash. Well, both of these sites are going to offer you royalty-free images, so you don't have any issues while working with them, even inside your projects. So try using both of these sites, and you can see I have also used this photo in my previous classes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download a couple of these photos. I'm going to click on download, and just make sure that you have a stable internet connection. That's all. There we go. I'm going to download 4 of these photos. And another thing is that if you want to use these exact photos, I'm also going to be applying these photos inside of my resource folder. So you can find them out easily, and you'll also be able to use them inside of your project or on your work. So as these have been downloaded, what I want to do is I'm going to create a new slide. Click on new slide, and I want a blank presentation or a blank slide. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to click on pictures, and you will see that there are 3 options for pictures. One is this device, which is going to use your device as the directory to get your images from. Then we have stock images and online images. So you can use stock images and online images at the same time. So you can just click on it, and you will basically see stock images option will appear up on your screen, and you will be able to use whichever one you want. Okay, so you can just click on them and you'll be able to work with it, but these are not royalty free. So I would suggest you not to work on these or work with these on your project, or even if you're working with it. The next option which we have is online pictures. It is also the same option where you can get your online images from, but it's going to use Bing as the search engine, and you'll be able to get any images you want online, and you'll be able to download it and use it whenever you want to. But also these are not royalty free, so obviously I would not suggest you using them on your work. The last option which we have is this device. So if you want to apply any images, so download your images or use your own images which you have, go off the downloads, and there we go. We have 2 of these images, even though I've downloaded 4, but I'm going to use 2 of these. And if I press on insert, you can also insert one of them at a time, but I'm going to insert both of them. So I'm going to click on both, click on insert, and it's going to take a bit of time to just apply it on your screen. There we go. Okay, so this is how it should work. There we go. We have both of these images inside of my workspace. You can also collab them together. There we go. Okay. So you'll be able to work with images just like this. You'll be able to customize it anytime you want to. You'll be able to fix up the size, crop them out. Okay. Have over here on images is about screenshots. You can take screenshots of your panel. Let's say I'm going to keep this over here and I'm going to go off the PowerPoint. And if I just go off the screenshots, you will have both of the panels which you want to take a screenshot of, whatever you have open on your screen. So just in case I want to use the Chrome site. So if I click on this, the Chrome site will open up and there we go. It has already created a snapshot of it and you will be able to use it as an image too. And it's also going to cover up the whole page. So you can also use it whenever you want, but it's going to just cut out the taskbar out of your screen. Okay, so I'm going to delete it just for now. The next option which you will see of screenshot is the photo album. You can also create photo albums just the way you want to. For that, I'm going to download a couple more of these images, download that up. I'm going to download this one too. There we go. I'm going to wait until this actually queues up. I'm going to download this one. So there we go. We have a couple of these images and I'm going to create another slide, blank slide over here. I'm going to click on photo album and here you're going to create a photo album. You can either click on this or you can also click on photo album and create new photo album. So here, what you want to do is you have to first off insert the picture, file or disk. I'm going to click on all of these, click on insert, and all of them will appear up in this list. Now what you want to do is you can just reorder them if you want to. Maybe I want this one in 4. Okay, I'm going to do is put them in the 4th place. So there we go. We have this at the 4th. Maybe I want this one at the 3rd. Okay, I'm going to keep this selected up. Make sure to select this. There we go. And then make sure to keep it on number 3 or number 4. You can also fix in like the rotation, fix in the contrast. You can also fix in the brightness if you want to. And obviously you'll be able to apply a new text on each and every one of them. So maybe I want a text on my 3rd image. So new text box. And here, what I'm going to do is you can type your own text box after you are done with like applying your image. But maybe I'm going to delete one of these. So I'm going to click on delete or remove and you'll be able to remove them. And you can also apply all photos to be black and white if you want to. And it's also going to give you a preview, but I'm not going to be turning them into like black and white. And then we have the picture layout fit to slide. You can also make them fit to slide or whichever one you want. Frame shape is rectangle. You can also apply a theme to it. And after you're done, just press on create and just wait for a bit until like the whole thing has been done. And there we go. We have the text box. You can type in anything over here. So here I'm going to type in go to number 4. Okay. And now you can also like play out the whole thing and check it out yourself. And it's also going to create a new presentation for you. So you don't have to worry about the previous one. You can obviously move on to the first one where you've worked on all the time. Okay. So hope you understood everything about this class on how you'll be able to use tables and images. In my next class, I'm going to be showing you everything you need to know about layouts and everything that you need to know about picture format, step by step, and in brief. So without any further ado, let's move on to our next class of PowerPoint presentation.